Old friends and new, if you've just joined this. I am here with my team, crack infographic team. I have Sophie Mellor over here. Say hello, Sophie.
Hello.
It's very good. So how do you describe your job here, Sophie? You're the SEO. You're managing the SEO for this business, aren't you? So quite a big job, quite an important job. You enjoying it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm indeed.
Yes, that's very good. We've rehearsed this. And Jodie over there, Jodie, you're really copywriter stroke research, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you're going to be talking through. Jodie's going to be talking through kind of research that we do to get infographics that actually work, which ours do, which is we've just proven that because we've just had a look at USwitch doing an infographic with 0 tweets and no sharing at all. So we're beating USwitch in some areas. And behind me is Kate Stafford, who is our brilliant designer.
Hello.
Who actually puts the infographics together. So I pulled this page up here on this is an exclusive, folks, because this website is in development at wooddigital.com, and this is our page on infographic marketing. And as you can see here, I'm sort of giving a bit of an introduction to what an infographic is. I mean, infographics are not new in any way, but the way that they're being used in SEO is it's not very new. It's probably been gathering momentum over the last sort of 2 years. We've really been, well, I'll tell you how seriously we're taking it. We have a whole team dedicated to consistently producing infographics on a daily basis. That's how important they are. One of the reasons they've become more important in the last 6 months is because of the massive amounts of Google algorithmic updates that happened last year, which shook the world of SEO. One of the key factors in those upgrades was the increasing importance of social signals, which is SEO speak and doesn't mean a lot if you don't know what it means. So I'm going to try and explain what social signals are in layman's terms. The best description I ever heard of this, and I can't remember where I heard it, but it makes a lot of sense. It's like if you're in a bar, and you notice a lot of my anecdotes involve alcohol consumption. If you're in a bar and you're at the back of the bar and it's a busy bar, and Claudia Schiffer walks through the front door, you probably wouldn't notice her. But if she walks through the front door and she's surrounded by paparazzi and they're all clicking, their cameras and flashes are going off, you're going to stand up and have a look and see, oh look, there's Claudia Schiffer. And that is really the way that social signals work. If something is tweeted or Facebook liked or stumbled upon or any of the other myriad social signals that that one can do when one is sharing content on the internet, that is basically like clicking a camera and telling Google, come and have a look at this. Google's coming to have a look at it then, and then it's following the links. And one of the good things about infographics is that the links, the way that we promote them, there's lots of different ways of promoting them, which we're going to try and cover off in this webinar. But one of the ways in which we promote them is through infographic sharing websites. And that creates a link which comes back to your website, or to, in our case, the client's website, and that is enormously valuable in terms of SEO. Because really you're saying, what are you saying to Google? You're saying, look, we're producing content that's so good, people want to share it. And that's really what Google's looking for. It's looking for authenticity. It's looking for websites that are authorities in their marketplace. And infographics are a great way of doing this. But saying that, there's a big but here, a lot of infographics do nothing. Wouldn't you agree, girls?
Yeah.
And we've applied all of our collective experience and made a few mistakes as well, which is why we're ready to do this webinar and share this information with you, because doing the research is critical, absolutely critical. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. I'm looking over at Jodie there because she's actually the one doing the research. We tend to base our research on converting keywords or things that are zeitgeist within the marketplace. You don't know what the word zeitgeist means. That it's a Woody Allen film from 1979. It's also, zeitgeist is a word that basically means stuff that's trending. Trending is really probably the modern equivalent to zeitgeist. I think actually Google used to have a tool called Google Zeitgeist that got replaced by Google Trending. I might be making this up, but it's basically creating stuff that people are looking for right now. So, for example, if you wanted to, I mean, there was a massive infographic opportunity last week. I don't know if you all heard about the horse DNA in, well, it's less horse DNA, more complete horses in the Tesco burgers. I think 28%. That's not DNA, that's a horse. Delicious, yeah. That's why I don't shop at Tesco. That's another webinar. That, you know, as soon as that news broke, there were pictures going. There was a fantastic picture of a horse being ridden by a cow, saying we're just making a burger for Tesco's, and that just got, you know, that was viral. And you know, that's a rare opportunity. No, it's not actually a rare opportunity. There are opportunities like that every day in every market. What you need to be doing is finding those opportunities and then being able to turn something around within a time frame that people still want to share it. I mean, if we produced that horse burger joke today, it wouldn't get shared because people have moved on now, haven't they? Yeah. Have people moved on from the horses? Yeah, so anyway, let's just run down this page. The benefits of data visualization or infographic marketing are huge when done right, which is pretty much what I've just said. And what I've tried to do on this page for infographics here is just lay out the benefits. They can go viral. They can create masses of backlinks, which Google loves, which will increase your site authority rankings and traffic, which I've already covered off. They can also help increase conversion rates on your landing pages, and we found this for a number of websites. We've been testing infographics on landing pages simply because who wants to read a load of text when you can look at a nice pretty picture? It's, you know, and judging by some of the spelling of some of the staff here, not you lot obviously, people are getting less and less good at writing and reading, and judging by my kids' homework, they're good at it, but the school, that's another subject as well. But people retain visual data. I mean, this is not rocket science, is it? You all know what I'm talking about. So why are they so good at this? Well, we like pictures more than words. We like sharing cool, funny, interesting images. We retain data better in visual form, and the act of sharing helps us remember brands. I actually put that one in because there is some research done on this, and I need to attribute it to that. So remind me of that after the webinar because I've not put that in there. And people who share great content produced by you are predisposed to give you a quality link in return. What do I mean by that? Well, for those of you that know me, you'll know that one book that I recommend anybody in business read is Influence, the Science of Persuasion, or the Power of Persuasion by Professor Robert Cialdini. And what he talks about in that book, brilliantly, is the law of reciprocity. Reciprocity basically means if I buy you a drink, unless you're, I'm going to offend somebody here, I shouldn't really say unless you're Scottish, but okay, it's a joke, just live with it. Unless you're Scottish, you're going to buy me one back. That's just human nature. We do this, and we've had a lot of interesting and good results here, because one of the case study I'm going to show you down the page, which I hope you can see, I think I might have pointed to this in a previous email. This is one we did in December called Fuel Poverty in the UK. So, Jodie, do you want to come close to the microphone and just talk through the kind of thought process that we went through creating this infographic on behalf of a debt client, a client that does debt management?
Okay.
Hi, Jodie. Speak up. Can you all hear Jodie?
Yeah.
If anybody can't hear Jodie, just write a message together to speak up, and we'll turn her up.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Basically, it's best to start with a topic that loosely relates to the client. So, with the debt management company, it was money. And so I went on a few sort of news websites and looked in the finance section just to see what was being talked about the most, what was in the news the most, and it was all the gas and electricity companies putting the prices up and everyone going mental about how expensive it is to live and people being plunged into fuel poverty, and it was all very depressing. And yeah, so that's what people were getting wound up about, and that's what was in the news.
You found that this was a trending topic.
Yeah.
Basically, and it was to do with money. So you think, bingo, let's have a go at creating an infographic.
Yeah. So that was a good one really, and people were talking about it on Twitter as well. When I searched the keywords fuel poverty and gas and electricity prices, a lot of people were talking about it.
Which is a classic example of zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Basically, within your marketplace. Whatever market you're in, you can do this excuse me, did you use Topsy for this?
Yeah, I think I did. It seems like ages ago.
Well, I think I'll just pop over to Topsy to show everybody. I don't know if I'm just going to find. There we go. If you guys have never heard of Topsy, I highly recommend it. It's a website that kind of pulls together stuff that's going on online right now. Wait for that to load up. So if I'm on Topsy here and I type in something like fuel poverty, let's try that. And then that'll pull up results, in this case, in past 39 days, 2,900. You should all be able to see that. And this is pulling up websites and tweets and everything. So I'm really interested in the tweets. So I'm just going to click on tweets down here. And you can see that these are the tweets that are, you know, the keyword is in there, and there are 8,474 tweets on fuel poverty in the last 39 days. In the last 7 days, 1,926. It's still a busy subject.
At the time that we posted it, it was being talked about a lot because that was when the prices going up were actually coming into effect. So
yeah.
And it was winter as well.
And
it was winter and it was cold.
Yeah.
You know, just look out the window.
Yeah.
Classic stuff.
Christmas and all that. Yeah.
I mean, just to interrupt you there, Jodie. One thing, if you can't find the data, if you're looking for data and you're trying to find it from other sources, the other way of creating a great infographic is to do a survey to your own database. You know, because if you can get 20, 30 results, you've got a valid, you ask them 10 questions, you can do percentage answers and create pie charts and graphs and everything, and then you're creating data then, and when you're creating, then all you're doing is visualizing that data and putting it into a format that people want to share. So anyway, back to this. This is your list of things. Where are you on this, Jodie?
Then it's finding the facts that are the most interesting about your chosen subject. So with fuel poverty, it was, you want to try and shock people if you can, depending on what your topic is. It's got to be statistics that really grab people. So, with fuel poverty, we were coming up with how many people have died in the winter and stuff like that. So it's when people see it, it's sort of like, oh my god. So yeah, find statistics that stand out the most.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to. I mean, I think that. Excuse me. The process that I tried to describe to you guys when we started doing this was trying to create statistics or find statistics or create headlines that are kind of tabloid. Steve Wright in the Afternoon, the type of thing that he'd put on, factoids and stuff like that. People love these kind of things and they love sharing them. So that's the process that we went through. And I'm just going to go back to the this particular infographic, which is here on Visually. Visually is one of the sites, one of the best sites to use for promoting an infographic. Excuse me. I have stopped eating, drinking, and smoking, and everything's coming out. Now you can see here that this has had 1.1 thousand or 1,100 in old money views on Visually since we put it live. And down on the left here you can see all the social signals that it's created. This is live. 6 Facebook likes, 310 tweets, 4 Google Plus ones, 43 stumbles, 12 pins, no LinkedIn, but I don't really care about LinkedIn. And you can see here that there's a link here to the client website. So all of these social signals are pointing at this and going here. And the reason you can see it's just quality information, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the reason why this has been shared.
It also got chosen as a staff pick.
Oh yeah, it got chosen by the staff at Visually and put on the homepage, didn't it? So that gives it a real boost.
So it was right at the top for everyone to see.
The majority of the ones that we've made have ended up on the homepage.
Yeah, we are pretty damn good at creating these infographics, aren't we? So they're nice. I didn't know that, Kate.
Yeah.
Thanks. Most of ours have been on the front pages.
Yeah, and get used to the email.
Because we're kicking ass
Yeah.
in the infographic world. That's brilliant. So let's go back to this page and see what you can see. I don't think I need to explain this infographic, so you can read that after the event. So we can update that. Yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much the process of creating the infographic. The next part of the process is really promoting it. So once you've got it up on visually, and Sophie, how many websites do we broadcast these infographics out to as part of our normal procedure?
Well, at the moment I've got a database of about 30, but I'm still looking for more to try and add to it over time.
Yeah, so there's a kind of 30-odd infographic sites where people are actively looking for infographics to share.
Yes,
so you're taking the product to the marketplace and then saying, hey, look at this, and if it's good enough, it'll get shared. On top of that, you need to be blogging your infographic on whichever sites is most appropriate to do that on, and promoting it to your list. Promote it to your own list, your email list, your Twitter list, your Facebook friends, and just generally getting people to like it and share it and see if it takes off. But then the bit that I really love about infographics is kind of 2 or 3 weeks after you've done all this. We go through a process which in the SEO world is called outreach, which is a posh way of saying hassling people for links. And then one thing, I'll see if I can show you this process by taking the infographic here, which is on visually. You see at the bottom it says click here to embed this graphic on your website. So it makes it dead easy to just copy the code and paste. Oh, is that a question from Nick? Let's have a look at that. Are infographics suit? Oh, are infographics suitable for every business? And you mentioned, I can't read. Okay. Oh yeah. And you mentioned the infographic sharing sites. Are these simply social media sites? No, Nick, they are infographics sites that are specifically set up for infographics.
Yeah, some of them are blogs which you then contact the person who is in charge of the blog to send it to them.
Right.
And then some of them are just sharing sites.
Okay.
Those are infographics.
Yeah, so there's sites that are specifically set up and asking for infographics, if that makes sense. Now, this is the bit I love. So here's the embed code for this particular infographic. So what we're looking for is the web address here. So I'm going to copy from the HTTP all the way through to the .png, because that's the name of the file. So you just copy that and then go to Google and go to Google Images, paste that code in. Why didn't it let me paste? There it is. Put on, and then you can see there's the infographic in there, but it's this little thing here says search by image. Click on that, and then you will see where this infographic has been published, which is very useful. So I know from looking at this before that on the 14th of December it was published on this website, which is soundmigration.wordpress.com. If I click on that link and go to it, soundmigration.com, I believe, is a PageRank 4 website. Blog, isn't it? Yeah. So we found the infographic on here, which we were very pleased about. But what tends to happen is people will just paste it on there, but they won't necessarily attribute the infographic to the original creator of the infographic. So the process, the outreach process, in this particular case, this is a real live study. The guy who runs this blog has no email contacts or anything on here. The only way you can contact him is on Twitter. So we had to go and find him on Twitter and then try to follow him and get him to follow us so that we could send him a message saying, hey, love that infographic. And really, you know, you're just being polite. You're saying, look, I really appreciate the fact that you shared this infographic. Would you mind giving us a link, please? Because that's completely legitimate. And you see at the bottom here that this guy ended up giving us precisely the link back to the exact page upon which the infographic was published on the client's website. So we have a link from a PageRank 4 website. If I just go to the home page of this site and see if I can show you the PageRank. That's not showing the data now. Typical. Oh, no, private it says now. That's typical. Believe me, it's a PageRank 4 website. So that PageRank is bleeding through and giving you nice juice back. So you're not only getting the social signals, you're actually getting the links. But the great thing is, this is precisely the kind of links that Google wants. So you're earning the links. And this is the key difference between, well, it's always been true in SEO, you need to earn the links. The problem previous to the Panda and Penguin updates was that people that were doing good SEO were being overtaken by people doing, I hate to use the word bad SEO, but people that were just buying tons of links from high page rank and cheating the links and everything else, which is a completely legitimate practice because it works. I mean, what did they expect? Businesses weren't going to do it because they wanted to be white hat, whatever that means. So, but what's happened now is that the algorithms have been updated so that they are reflecting quality content and reflecting authority sites that have actual proper links. And this is the way to do proper links. There's a bit more to it than that, but I'm going to open the floor now to questions. If anybody's got any questions, or if anybody wants me to talk through any other examples, I can do that. If you want an infographic done professionally and properly, we are open for business in that respect. Although this isn't a sales pitch, it will be in a week because we're about to make this page live on this website. So if anybody wants an infographic creating, then you can have a consultation with us. Just email me at, what's my current email address? mark@atwooddigital.com. That will come through to me. And then we'll happily have a chat with you and see if we can create one. The average time it takes to create an infographic is about 10 hours. That includes the research, the writing of it, the design of it, the promotion of it, and the outreach following that, 2, 3, 4 weeks and a couple of months later as well, because these infographics continue to generate links as time goes by, because not everybody comes and shares them all at the same time. About 10 hours cost, we charge that out at £60 an hour, so the average infographic cost is £600 per infographic. For most of our clients, we're doing at least one a month. For some clients, we're doing one a week. For a PAL, we should be doing one a week. I don't know if we're on schedule with that, but yeah, they are that important. So I'll stay on the line for. Oh, there's another question there from Victoria. We'll just have a look at this. What sort of split of more serious versus more humorous infographics would you recommend? That is a really very, very good question. I'm glad you brought that up because I tend to want to do humorous things as that fall flat on their ass as often as possible. But the thing is with humor, we found it very difficult to get humorous stuff shared. I think for humor to go viral, it needs to be really zeitgeist, like the cow and the horse example. But we did one recently, not that I like to shout about failures, but this one it's not a failure, it just didn't do as well as we expected. If I look at top skips, we wanted to do one on the 10 weirdest things found in a skip, because we published in the magazine, Skip Home magazine. Here it is. And these are all true. These, a 2-year-old girl, don't worry, she was alive, 2 tiny kittens. And I thought we did leave one out of here, didn't we? Because there was a dead baby, but I thought that was not fun. Yeah. I remember I was on the Chris Evans show once, and they asked me what I was going to talk about, and I said I was going to talk about this dead. They said, "You can't talk about that because it's too offensive." I don't know. People get very. It is upsetting. It's true. It's true. There was a. But anyway, there's all this other stuff. No dead baby infographic. That's a rule. It's the law. So I mean, this is an example of one that we thought was humorous and true and useful. This is a very good case study because although visually is full of top 10 this and lists of stuff, they didn't accept this as an infographic, which was...
When I pulled them up on that, they just didn't get back to me, so...
They just didn't think that this was an infographic, because I can see their point, because it isn't data visualization, is it? It's a kind of list of top 10 things, which is, off the subject. But an important lesson for us has been that the more... I think the key to it is got to be zeitgeist. That's really the key here. It's got to be something that people are talking about now. If that means it's humorous, so be it. If it means it's factual and interesting, so be it. Whatever the case is, it has to be relevant now. If it's to have maximum chance of being shared. I hope that's answered your question, Victoria. Another question here from Mike. How many would a company need to have done, i.e. one for every service? Good question, Mike. Typical Mike Philbin question there. It's right for the jugular. Can have a drink of peppermint tea while I'm considering my response. By the way, if you've not seen Django Unchained yet, go and see it.
Yeah, I watched it.
What a film! What a film! What a film! Anyway, it's got nothing to do with infographics whatsoever. Well, that's a very good question. How long is a piece of string? It's like SEO, Mike. You've just got to keep doing it, and you've got to use the 80-20 or the 90-10 rule, which we try to do here, which is targeting. Always target your most profitable, area keywords if you can, if possible, or target services that make the most money for you, because that's really what you want to be ranking for. And think laterally about the kind of infographics. Like we've done one on fuel poverty for a debt management company. Why? That it's not strictly related to debt management, but people that are in fuel poverty could be looking for information on fuel poverty, and they could be picking up customers there. But we're really doing it for the links. It's really about excuse me. It's really about SEO in 2013. That's what infographics are about. So, for all of our websites and most of our clients' websites, we have as I've said, we have a continuous infographic production line. It's central really to SEO. And the ones that we've shown you are all kind of two-dimensional, but you can do. I wonder if we've still got the squirrel one. That's not.
No.
Oh, the Christmas. Yeah, you can make these things interactive. We've done them with music. We've done them with videos of talking squirrels. But really, what we've found is that the simplest, most straightforward ones get the best kind of response, as long as they are zeitgeist. That's really the big key message here, isn't it? Yeah. Anybody disagreeing with that?
No,
No.
definitely. Going back to what Nick said about are they suitable for every business? Is that what it said?
Did he? Did I not answer the next question? Typical.
Yeah. I think that we've proven that you can pretty much do an infographic for any.
Yeah, they are suitable for any business.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't answer that question, Nick. Definitely, there's no business that wouldn't benefit from an infographic. Is there? No. And we love making them, don't we? Yeah, you're welcome to make one yourself to save yourself 600 quid, but it won't be as good as the one we'll do, and it won't get as much attention as the ones that we'll do. But that's the other thing, you can't guarantee results with these things. I mean, I've put another one up here that we did for a fitness client. When did this go live? A couple of days ago, 2 days ago. Yeah. So this one went live 2 days ago. This one's in. This is for Easy Fit Personal Training. If you live in the Manchester or Cheshire, north of England, I highly recommend them. I am currently at my lowest weight since 1972, when I was about 2 stone. Yeah, this one we picked on the impact of obesity in England 2013. And this one's not doing too bad. It's doing really well. I mean,
It's doing really well.
39 tweets, 3 Facebook likes, 1 + 1 is 2, 3 stumbles, that was a funny gag, and 5 pins. I mean, that's pretty good.
It's like
336 views. Now we did look at one earlier that was done by USwitch, didn't we? I'm just going to see if I can pull that up, because
Did you just search fuel poverty?
yeah, if I just take the UK off here, this is one done by USwitch, which is a massive company on fuel poverty, and this one went live a year ago, and it's had 0 likes, 0 tweets, 0 +1s.
It's only just had more views than
And it's had 458 views. 458 views in a year by USwitch. Now you'd think that USwitch would know what they were doing, which is a big lesson. Don't ever assume anything. The bigger the company, the worse they are at marketing usually. And you can see this obesity one has only been live for 2 days, and it's had almost as many views as that. Why do we pick obesity? Well, quite obvious, really. It's January. Everybody's worried about their weight. Any other reasons why we chose obesity? Did you do any research on this?
I think the client wanted it on obesity.
They wanted it on obesity because, well, that's their target market.
Yeah.
It's always good
Fat people.
as well, because there's always something about obesity in the news.
Yeah.
It's always going to shock people as well.
Yeah, I mean,
no matter what obesity, like you put these figures in front of someone and they go, oh god.
yeah, I mean, it's quite shocking. I mean, I am obese, according to this. I don't look it, do I? Do I look obese?
It's got a gun to my head, everyone.
No. I'm just going to go off subject here. Look at this. Look at this. Meet the team. Yeah.
I'm not on there.
Yeah, you're not on there yet because I'm not necessarily good. Look at that. Is that obese? That's not obese. Handsome, handsome. Right. So, obese ego, correct. Thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, this is doing pretty well, isn't it? And 2 days in, they should be a very happy bunny with this. But you can't guarantee it. You know, back to the U-switch. 0. Big 0. But it's really quite dull what they've done, isn't it? And it's got U-switch logo at the top. This is a good point. You know, to me, I think that's a bit tasteless. It's also, you know, if an infographic has been produced and it looks like it's trying to sell you something, or it's trying to, you know, the branding should be down the page, right at the bottom. You should quote all the sources of the data. That's what, you know, you'll see that if I go back to the obesity one. I'm hoping that it's there. Yeah, you see we've got some sources of data there. Just doing a webinar. Just doing a webinar. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not doing a webinar. Sorry, this is live. I'm in trouble because I forgot to bring something into the office. You can see here that branding's at the bottom. The sources are there, so this is a genuine, proper, high-quality infographic, which is why it's getting the results. Another question here from Victoria. If you create the infographic for us, do you also help with the promotion of it, or do you just supply us with the infographic? Yeah, absolutely, we promote it for you because that's what we do. You know, we would create it with you. It's a collaborative process, but we'd lead you down that way. You may have data, you may have assets in your business that you don't know about, or things data that we could use. It's, you know, we've got to understand. I don't know what business you do, Victoria, but we have to understand what it is that you're about and what you're trying to achieve. Then we'll come up with the graphic that will do the job, and then of course we'll promote it for you because it's quite a, can I use the word ball ache in a room full of women? Yeah, I think so. It is, you know, it's a bit of a drag going. It's, you know, it's not easy. The outreaching is quite challenging, isn't it?
But it's rewarding in the end.
It's rewarding when you get the link. That's the key to it. But it is quite a time consuming. We do it quickly, but if you did it yourself, it does take quite a bit of time. So yes, the short answer, which I'm not very good at doing short answers, is yes, we would do the promotion for you as well.
We have got a list as well of all the sites that we share them to.
Yeah.
So we work through that.
Yes. So if there's no more questions, I think we've covered all the bases here. If anybody's got any more questions, please. I've just seen Steve's notes here. Jodie, get closer to the mic.
Sorry, Steve.
Yes, Steve makes the point there. It is very U-switch branded. So I think we've covered off most of the points now about infographics. Doesn't seem to be any more questions. So all it remains for me to say is thank you very much for tuning in. Did we enjoy that?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, good. And I hope you're all having a great time. And anybody wants an infographic, just email us or ring us up. What's our number? 0161 482 62. Yeah, what's it? 62. We're professional. 6232. 01614 82 6232. Oh, Patrick's just arrived. You're late. It's 37 minutes past 4, Patrick. Anyway, thanks for coming. But we are recording this and we'll be posting it up on the website and emailing you soon. So thank you very much for coming, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something and look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.